is money, and we don't waste time.
Sure.
Oh, wait. Yeah. We can just maybe help to set up, like it's like the camera is nice. It's not like pointing like past my forehead or something. You know?
Yeah.
Thank you. Alright. So now we're gonna do some chanting. So this bhajan, this song is about Krishna, like most of them or all of them, directly or indirectly. But this one is very nice, specifically because it is a perfect description of the spiritual world. Srila Prabhupada, spiritual master, says that everything is there in this bhajan. So that's why we chant it every day before the class. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivarodhari. You can just close it. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivarodhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivarodhari. Yashoda Nandana Vraja Jana Ranjana. This door also. Yashoda Nandana Vraja Jana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. 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 Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivarodhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivarodhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivarodhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivarodhari. Yashoda Nandana Vraja Jana Ranjana. 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 Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivarodhari.
Vijana Vallabha Girivarodhari.
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivarodhari.
Vijana Vallabha Girivarodhari.
Yashoda Nandana Vraja Jana Ranjana.
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 Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Yamuna Tira
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivarodhari.
Vijana Vallabha Girivarodhari.
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivarodhari.
Vijana Vallabha Girivarodhari.
Yashoda Nandana Vraja Jana Ranjana.
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 Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivarodhari.
Vijana Vallabha Girivarodhari.
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivarodhari.
Vijana Vallabha Girivarodhari.
Yashoda Nandana Vraja Jana Ranjana.
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 Yamuna Tira Vana Brahmachari
Yamuna Tira
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
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 Gopidana Vallabha Girivaradari
Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari
Gopidana Vallabha Girivaradari
Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari
Yashoda Nandana Vraja Jana Ranjana
Yashodanandana
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 Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamuna
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari
Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari
Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari
Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari
Yashoda Nandana Vraja Jana Ranjana
Yashodanandana
Yashoda Nandana Vraja Jana Ranjana
Yashodanandana
Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Peda Vallabha Girivarodhari
Gopijana Vallabha Girivarodhari
Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari 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 Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
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 Gopijana Vallabha Girivarodhari
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 Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Jaya Om Vishnupad Paramsa Parivrajacharya Ashatarashata His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jaya Om Vishnupad Paramsa Parivrajacharya Ashatarashata His Divine Grace Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Aranta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Srinamacharya Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Shri Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktarinda Ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopanath Shyamakund Radha Giri Govardhana Ki Shri Vrindam Dham Ki Shri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Bhakti Devi Ki Tulsi Devi Ki Yamuna Devi Ki Shri Harinam Sankirtan Yagya Ki Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Samaveta Bhaktarinda Ki Jai Gaura Premanande. All glories to the Sambhu devotees. All glories to the Sambhu devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna. Great. Srimad Bhagavatam. Prabhu is coming. Here we go. So His Grace Purujit is going to now give a class on the Srimad Bhagavatam. So everyone stay with us. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, chapter 14, text 34. 14:34. Ditiruvacha
Vitiruvacha
Name Garbham Imam Brahman
Name Garbham Imam Brahman
Bhutanam Rashabo Vadit
Bhutanam Rishabho Vadit
Rudraha Patirhi Bhutanam
Rudraha Patirhi Bhutanam
Yasya Karavam Amhasam.
Yasya Karavam Namhasam
Ditiruvacha.
Take mic. Take mic.
Name Garbham Imam Brahman.
Name Garbham Imam Brahman
Bhutanam Rishabho Vadit.
Bhutanam Rashabo Vadit
Rudra Patirhi Bhutanam.
Rudraha Patirhi Bhutanam
Yasya Karavam Amhasam.
Yasya Karavam Amhasam.
Ditiruvacha
Ditiruvacha
Name Garbham Imam Brahman
Name Garbham Imam Brahman
Bhutanam Rishabho Vadit
Bhutanam Rashabo Vadit
Rudra Patirhi Bhutanam
Rudra Patirhi Bhutanam
Yasya Karavam Amhasam
Yasya Karavam Amhasam. Ditiruvacha.
Ditiruvacha
The beautiful Diti said,
Beautiful Diti said
Na, not. Me, my. Garbham, pregnancy. Imam, this. Brahman, O Brahmana. Bhutanim, of all living entities. Rishabha, the noblest of all living entities. Avedit, say Avadhit, let him kill. Rudraha, Lord Shiva. Pati, master. He, certainly. Bhutanam, of all living entities. Yasya, whose. Akaravam, I have done. Amhasam, offense. Translation. The beautiful Diti said, my dear Brahmana, kindly see that my embryo is not killed by Lord Shiva, the Lord of all living entities, because of the great offense I have committed against him. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Diti was conscious of her offense and was anxious to be excused by Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva has two popular names, Rudra and Ashutosha. He is very prone to anger as well as quickly pacified. Diti knew that because of his being quickly angered, he might spoil the pregnancy she had so unlawfully achieved. But because he was also Ashutosha,
she implored her Brahmana husband to help her in pacifying Lord Shiva. For her husband was a great devotee of Lord Shiva. In other words, Lord Shiva might have been angry with deity because she obliged her husband to transgress the law, but he would not refuse her husband's prayer. Therefore, the application for excuse was submitted through her husband. She prayed to Lord Shiva as follows. Om Agyandarinandasya Yanajana Shalakayam Chakshunan Menitamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, has opened my darkened eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my humble obeisances unto His lotus feet. Jai Shri Prabhupada. So there was some regret on the part of Diti. She was being regretful of her unlawful activity. She induced her husband, Kashyapa Muni, to have sexual intercourse in an inauspicious time. And because it was done in such time, this pregnancy, we will see later, will give birth to the greatest demons that have ever been present in this material manifestation. Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. They're very, very big demons. Very powerful demons. The demon is always bad, but if he is powerful demon, then he's extra dangerous. Srila Prabhupada mentions in his commentary to Sri Upanishad that nowadays the demons, he calls them the little Hiranyakashipus. So nowadays people, they can't even be powerful demons. They're so downtrodden that these great demons, they cannot manifest. Let us not forget that Hiranyakashipu very
Okay, you're back.
Hiranyakashipu was practicing big austerities. He was standing on one foot for many years, maybe 1,000 years, like that. He was just standing on one leg without moving. So this gave him lots of mystic powers. If you do that, if you stand on one leg for 1,000 years, then you get siddhis. Sometimes you see, now recently there's been Kumbh Mela, there are all these yogis. One yogi, he has his arm like this. You have seen?
Yeah.
And he doesn't move. So this helps to develop strength of mind. Mind is our greatest enemy. And it is also our greatest friend. All the big men, they know how to control the mind. Just like Jeff Bezos or some of these big guys. He's not wasting his time on TikTok, scrolling, exactly. He can fix his mind on the business. Uninterrupted samadhi. He's into business. How to develop his company, Amazon. He does not get diverted. So, of course, we should fix the mind on Krishna, because even if you fix your mind on business, business is a material thing, and that's why there's a saturation. There must be a saturation point. So for the time being, yeah, he can fix his mind, but the subject matter that he's contemplating, that is temporary. So it is not that Jeff Bezos is equal to a devotee. These great impersonalists also, they meditate on Brahman. And Brahman is not temporary, Brahman is eternal. Brahman Satyam Jagan Mitya, Shankaracharya said. Brahman is the substance. Substance must be eternal. But even they fall down, the impersonalists, because in Brahman there is nothing to attach ourselves to. So they also fall down. And as Hiranyakashipu, he was fixing his mind on developing mystic powers, and when he got the benediction from Lord Brahma, he started harassing the sadhus. Number one sadhu was his own son, Prahlad Maharaj. So Prahlad Maharaj was a devotee, and Hiranyakashipu, he could not tolerate it, so he wanted to kill his own son just because he was a devotee. Imagine how crazy. So this mind control, if you want to practice anything, material or spiritual, is absolutely necessary. Even great demons, even great yogis, their purpose is to control the mind. How is the mind diverted? It's diverted by the more gross platform, the sensual platform. If the senses are not engaged in Krishna consciousness, it's impossible to control the mind. You know very well that while we chant japa, we should be attentive to the name, not that we chant with the lips, but the mind is somewhere else. The mind is planning out how to take over the world. Ishvara Bhav. We have this mood of controlship, Ishvara Bhav. Then we have to give up. That is Maya. You are not an Ishvara. Krishna is Ishvara. You are a servant always. So, if someone does not control his or her senses, if we let the senses loose, I'll just eat anything, I'll just see anything, I just hear anything. We're not selective, like a pig. Pig, omnivore, he takes everything. He eats everything, whatever you give him. Then it is not possible to control the mind. And if you cannot control the mind, then you cannot concentrate on Krishna. It is like this. So, some people, they think that it's Krishna consciousness is so cheap that I simply show by the external symptoms that, look, I'm chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And they can get away with it. That chanting also will not give any bliss. And if there's no bliss, then nobody will be interested in such activity. Anandamaya Vyasat. We're always pleasure-seeking entities. Don't forget that. Always. Always looking for pleasure. If you can't get pleasure, if you're not interested in getting nice prasadam, if you do not honor, if you do not appreciate nice Krishna prasadam, then McDonald's is waiting for you. Murder King and all these. You must go there and take the abominable butchered cow prasadam, so-called. Similarly, if you're not taking part in the hearing of the Srimad Bhagavatam, seriously, just like devotees here, they're very serious, hearing Bhagavatam every day, then you'll be attracted by the sex affairs. This Bhagavatam, it removes the sex desire. Imagine. It's such a powerful book. The whole world is undergoing, is going on, the whole world is going on based on this sex desire. That's why the planets are revolving. That's why everything is in a movement, because of sex desire. Man is looking for woman is looking for man, and when they unite, then there are children, they expand. So, by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, you can remove this root of material existence, this sex desire. You can remove it. It is not good. We're not supposed to be here expanding. We want to expand. Why are you expanding? This is Maya. This world is, in one sense, Maya. Because it's temporary. It's not your real home. The real home is with Krishna. When you go to the toilet, you do your business and you get out. And suppose, I go to the toilet and then I bring my office table there and I arranged very nicely my dress, my everything. I take my prasadam there. Is it very good? No. That's not the place. Anandamaya Vyasat, you're pleasure seeking, but don't seek pleasure here. Only kicks are awaiting you. No matter what you do, no matter, you get the most beautiful woman or man, you get the most money, you cannot be happy. And Hiranyakashipu, this demon, he was the son of Diti, he also realized this. He was so powerful that he went to the heavenly planets. Yes, just like nowadays also, Elon Musk's and all these people, they want to go to the heavenly planets by spaceships. See, that means that they're demons. Because demons are never satisfied with Krishna prasadam. This earth planet is also Krishna prasadam. It's the mercy of Krishna. You're being given a nice opportunity to take birth on this planet. But the demons are not satisfied. We want more. We want to go to the moon and so on, so on. So Hiranyakashipu also, he went to the heavenly planets, and because he was a very powerful yogi, he had the power to kick out Lord Indra from his throne. Imagine. Lord Indra, such a powerful demigod. He's in charge of the rain. So as soon as Hiranyakashipu came, he said, "Get out." He took him, "Get out of here." And he sat on his throne, and Hiranyakashipu started controlling the rain. That these demons also, they want to do that. Control the rain. Ishvara Bhav, always controlling. They want to control. So a devotee doesn't want to control anything. Even he doesn't want to control his mind. Just yesterday I was reading this name of Krishna, Rishikesha. It means that he is the master of the senses. So for regular devotees, Krishna controls their senses proportionately to their surrender. Atma mam prapadyante tam sadvai bhajamyaham. As they surrender unto me, I award them accordingly, Krishna promises. But in the case of a pure devotee, Krishna controls his senses directly. Just like Srila Prabhupada is a good example. Whatever Srila Prabhupada does, even if Prabhupada does like this, or he does like this, that is all controlled by Krishna directly. Srila Prabhupada even wrote this poem on the way to the United States on the board of Jaladuta. He said, make me dance, make me dance, make me dance, like a puppet in your hands. He wants that. That is the ultimate surrender. Krishna controls his senses. Krishna was controlling the senses of Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. This is why the Guru is perfect. Not because of his own strength, but because Krishna takes charge. That's why he's perfect. So we should study all of these things, otherwise your reading will also be affected. If you don't understand what is the nature of a pure devotee, a pure spiritual master, then you cannot hear with faith. So anyway, Diti was regretful of this sinful action of enticing her husband. Even in marriage, sex life should be done according to the religious principles. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, I am that sex life that is dharmic sex life. So what does it mean? Is it people have sex life and at the same time they do Mangalartik, or what is that? No. Dharmic means only for the propagation of Krishna conscious children, not cats and dogs children. Even that is more strict. Krishna conscious children. Not any children. See, the definition of illicit sex is very specific. You're not supposed to have sex life with anyone except your wife or husband. But that is not all. You should have sex life only if you want to beget children. And that is not all. You should have sex life to have Krishna conscious children. So even the child is born, you must make sure that the child becomes a devotee. You must train him in such a way he becomes a devotee. So Diti, she was not following. She was influenced by lust. See, a devotee, he is just like a tortoise. The tortoise extends its senses whenever he needs, and then he again hides the senses. Similarly, for Krishna service, a devotee can do anything. But he is not controlled by lust. That is the difference. He is the controller of the lust. See, the real controller. You want to be controller? Yes, you can become controller. Such a controller that you will control even Krishna. That is the position of devotees. Mother Yashoda is telling Krishna, go, go, take this, put this on. Take the slippers of your father, bring him. She's commanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So who could be more exalted than a devotee? But you must become a devotee. So in order to become a devotee, you must give up this Ishvara Bhav. That is demonic. This doership. Prakati kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasa ankara vimudatma kartamiti manete. Our activities are being performed by the modes of material nature. See, a devotee, Krishna is controlling the senses of a devotee. But the non-devotee is not free. You're not free. You're controlled by the modes of material nature. Always under control. But you thinking that, oh, I am doing this. Arjuna was also thinking, I am doing this. If I fight, then the soldiers will be killed, their wives will be abandoned. He's thinking, I am the doer. And he wanted to be Ishvara also, Arjuna. Because he wanted to enjoy with his family. What's wrong with that, Purujit? Why is it family? Yes, it is bad because the family means attachment. And when there's anything else besides Krishna, you will not be happy. So, Ishvara Bhav, doership, we must give these up. You cannot ignite a fire and simultaneously pour water inside. This is the lesson we can learn from the chapter Pregnancy of Deity in the evening. See, they wanted to follow the regulative principles, but at the same time, Deity, she became victimized by lusty desires. Of course, from another angle or vision, if you know a little bit about the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is revealed that this Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, these are devotees actually. Jaya and Vijay, they were cursed by the 4 Kumaras, so they voluntarily agreed to appear as demons in the material world and be killed by Krishna. So that is a confidential information. So long they play the demons, we can analyze the behavior of the demons. Krishna ultimately comes and kills them. So she was regretful and she was asking her husband Kashyapa Muni to plead on her behalf to Lord Shiva to excuse her offense. Of course, this is very good. This regretful attitude, even if you fall down, Srila Prabhupada, he explains that this regret, or I'm searching for a word, start with R. Repentance, yeah. Remorse, yeah, repentance. This repentance actually purifies you from the fall down. Your own repentance purifies you from that fall down. Krishna is so kind, so compassionate. A sincere devotee, he'll be regretful. He'll be crying. Sincere devotee will think, I am not a devotee. I am such a rascal. Why I have done such a horrible thing? such very desperate, repentant prayer is immediately recognized by Krishna. And a rascal who claims to be a devotee, oh, he doesn't care. No problem. Wow. He thinks that, oh, I'm right. Why should I follow any regulative principles? I am right. I am God. I set the rules. Especially nowadays, people think like that. Oh, if there's any rules on morality, oh, that is dogma, fanaticism. This is demons. Krishna explains the nature of demons in the Bhagavad Gita. They do not know what to do and they do not know what not to do. They don't know what is pious, what is impious. They don't care. They don't care for the future consequences of their actions. So sometimes you will hear this, oh, you're fanatic, Prabhu, Mataji, you're dogmatic, you're brainwashed, blah, blah, blah. We have heard it many times. So, no. This, you must follow the regulative principles. And suppose by accident you fall down, unconsciously, you're not conscious, but you fall down. And if you're regretful, then Krishna will excuse you. But you should not take it as, the blank check permission. That, oh, this is very nice. I just go on sinning and then I chant Hare Krishna and it will disappear. Don't make this kind of business. Then you stay on the same level for many billions of births. You have a great opportunity to be able to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. They're so, yeah. So, the holy name, if we chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, it is stated that the holy name can purify more sins that you are capable of committing. Imagine all the sinful, the most horrible things you can ever perform. The Maha Mantra is still more powerful than you in your sinfulness. So we should chant and we should be regretful if we're making some mistakes. We should not think that, oh, this is normal, this is good, this is my standard. No, you have violated the principles. Don't find an excuse now. You have violated the principle. Now be regretful and try to rectify. Because if you don't rectify, nobody will rectify. We have to do it. We have to take the initiative and become serious about Krishna consciousness. It is not an automatic system that Krishna is there and I show, look, I'm a devotee, look, see, Krishna. Krishna is not dumb. Krishna is looking in your heart, not, on your dress or whatever, some designation that you tell people. He's right in your heart and he's seeing your internal motives. He can see you, you're rascal number one. Krishna is not so fool. So you have to be aware of this. And Krishna consciousness is the real thing. It is not some this ritualistic, so-called religious process. There's so many of them, right? The Jews, they go to what is that?
Israel.
No, the church, synagogue. They go to synagogue, right? They pray there, they do their rituals, so many rituals, bar mitzvah or whatever. So many things. The Muslims, they go to mosque. They also have so many rituals. The Christians also, so many rituals. But the heart is dirty like a tar pitch. So what's the use of that? It's just like, as I said, trying to ignite a fire but pouring water inside. You're wasting your time. Better be a full-fledged demon and at least enjoy than being halfway, What's the use? You're cheating yourself, wasting your time. So this is very important, this regretful attitude. And with that regretful attitude, Krishna will bless us, He will purify us. And then you see, those devotees who are regretful, they rectify very easily. And they become very good devotees. Sometimes Krishna makes you fall down just to teach you a lesson. Prabhupada explains it, that when a devotee falls down, this is not like a non-devotee. When a non-devotee is falling down, that is because of his karma. But when a devotee falls down, that is Krishna wants to teach him some lesson. So if he is regretful, then Krishna will then bring him back. And he is actually enriched. It is not that we have to fall down. Don't take it, oh, I must. This is advancement. I must fall down. I'm seeing he's laughing. But accidentally, if it happens, that means that Krishna wants you to learn something, some lesson. Don't be proud. Devotees are never proud of their accomplishments. They're very proud of Krishna. Just like the coward boys, they're very proud of Krishna. They'll be walking into the mouth of Agasura, this big snake, you have seen? Very confidently. Let's go. Let's walk into his mouth. Oh, you're not afraid? No, Krishna is here. They're very proud of Krishna. Nothing can happen. Just like sometimes when you were with good friends, you feel so good, you feel so confident, you feel like now even if I died, it wouldn't matter because I feel so happy. So, the coward boys, they felt like this. And we should be proud of our spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada. We are nothing in what we can preach, nothing. But he is very, very great. And we should be proud of him. But don't be proud of your sadhana or your knowledge or even preaching success. Don't be proud of this because it can go away very, very easily. So many sannyasis, so many brahmacharis, they fell down and they became debauchees number one. So always remember, this is simply the mercy of Krishna. Partially, in proportion to my surrender, He's controlling my senses. He's taking charge of my senses. He's inspiring me. But if I rebel, if I do not surrender, then Krishna will let us go and learn some lessons. Just like Diti, she also learned lessons. So, Lord Shiva is the greatest Vaishnava. And Diti was afraid that she committed a Vaishnava aparat. That is why she was asking Kashyapa Muni to beg for forgiveness from Lord Shiva. Any questions?
I have a question, please.
Give her the mic. Yes?
If we want to stick to the schedule, then we should.
Yeah?
Then we have only 10 minutes for our questions.
Okay, 10 minutes, yes?
How to surrender to Krishna?
How to surrender to Krishna? You must know, first of all, who is Krishna. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and He is transcendental. So, Krishna is complete, Purnam. He doesn't need anything from you. He's not a needy person. But when you serve Him, that is for your benefit, and Krishna also takes pleasure seeing your humble attitude. And then we must discharge the service under the guidance of the pure devotee. We cannot speculate. I serve Krishna like this in a whimsical way, and Krishna must like it. What kind of surrender is that? You don't force Krishna to like your service. Even if you perform service, you always think like this: oh, it is not enough for Krishna. It is not sufficient. My service is most insignificant. That will keep you always in a nice attitude of service. So, like this.
Okay, thank you.
Very simple.
Just one more question. How do you avoid being pulled or engaging, being pulled or engaging in the modes of passion and ignorance?
Being pulled, you said?
Being pulled.
Pulled. Well, you have to come under the influence of the divine energy. These modes of material nature, that's the material energy. So if you want to avoid, you must be controlled by the spiritual energy. Controlled you must be. That is always there. If you don't understand this, Prabhupada says you're a madman. If you think that you're free, you're a madman. You're controlled, even by the government. Even if you just say, oh, what is this modes of material nature? What is this nonsense? Okay, the government is controlling you. Your own body is controlling you. Let's say you want to, just like he's now, has to stretch. See, he's controlling you. He wants to hear Bhagavatam very seriously, but the body says, no. We must stretch now. So, how do we become engaged by the spiritual energy? By following the instructions of the spiritual master. That is why it feels so difficult, especially in the beginning. Rising early, following, worshipping deity, Sankirtan, always Krishna, Krishna, hearing Bhagavatam. Because we're changing our master from Maya to Krishna. It's a transformation. People love transformation, right? There's so many trans people. So maybe we can recommend, why don't you transform yourself from material energy to spiritual energy. That is permanent trance. Krishna trance. Make sense? Yeah.
Bhakta Morgan is wondering, so if I chant the Maha Mantra every day, will it help with that bad karma of earlier in my life?
Yes.
Sure. Maitreya Prabhu has a question. What does it mean unconsciously fall down? Because someone always has to make a conscious decision to take that joint or engage in sex life, etc. It's not like you do it when you're sleeping. And if you were not conscious, you couldn't be repentant.
Well, you're unconscious because that decision is dumb decision. Right? It's a foolish decision. If you were conscious, you wouldn't make that decision. So you're unconscious. If you knew the consequences, but we forget. We forget. The lust is so powerful that we forget all the instructions and all the consequences that are awaiting for us. For illicit sex life, there's such a horrible punishment. One must embrace an hot iron woman or man. He's forced by the Yamadutas. He must embrace a hot iron woman. Horrible. But we become forgetful. We think, this is whatever. We don't want to think about these things. The lust covers our consciousness. So that means we become unconscious. You're always unconscious. But when you practice, then that Krishna consciousness becomes awakened. But otherwise we're always unconsciously following the dictation of the material modes of nature. That is why we think I am the doer, because we're unconscious of how subtly the material energy is working on us. Yes.
Wait. There's questions here first. Russian princess on TikTok is wondering, if you're sick, do you still have to go through all your rituals?
No, if you're sick, you have to heal yourself. But what is the difficulty? Chanting Hare Krishna, this is not such a difficult ritual. You can do it even sick. When I'm sick, I'm chanting my rounds anyway. If you're sick, just chant Hare Krishna and sleep the whole day. Do nothing. If you cannot do anything, just chant. That's okay. No other ritual is so essential as chanting. It's not a ritual actually. It is the substance of our relationship with God to glorify His name.
Elson is wondering, if Krishna is the Supreme Personality, why in the Rig Veda it is said that God does not have form? And he is quoting Rig Veda 164:39, he who, being beyond duality, is the formless reality.
He doesn't have a form like you have. Otherwise, why in the Upanishads it is mentioned that please remove that effulgence so I can see your face. You cannot study Vedas superficially like this. Yasya devi para bhakti yata devi tata guru tasya takatita hyarta prakashante mahatmana. If you want to study the Vedas, the first thing is you must accept a guru. You're going without a guru, pulling out quotes without any understanding, you must be confused. There are two types of forms. Do you know this? If you read the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has two energies, material and spiritual. So God doesn't have a material form. Anyone who thinks that God is a material form, Krishna says he's a mudha. You know what a mudha means? Ass. He's an ass. Anyone, for example, when someone thinks that the deity is made of stone, that means that he's an ass. Yes, because he thinks this is a material form. It's not a material form, it's a spiritual form. So, when it is stated like that in the Rig Veda, that means that God doesn't have material form. But there's so many other statements where the form of God is described. In the Brahma Samhita, it's very clearly stated. Venum kvanantam aravinda dalaya dadaksham. Krishna is playing flute, he has darkish skin, garland around his neck, yellow dhoti. All these descriptions are there. This is all spiritual. Navayovanam, his form is Navayovanam, ever fresh, ever youthful. Can you show me any such form here that it would be ever youthful? Even the most beautiful girl ultimately becomes ugly grandmother. Yes? So Krishna, God, is Navayovanam form. It is mentioned specifically, the word Vigraha. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sat Chitananda Vigraha. Krishna is a body that is eternal, full of knowledge, full of bliss. And Vigraha, it is a form. There must be a form. Otherwise, where the form is coming? If God does not have a form, how come you have a form? You have a form, I can see you. I can't see you right now, but you have a form. Look in the mirror. So, how come this form is here? If God doesn't have a form. There must be everything that is in this world must be included in God. Otherwise, He is not the complete absolute truth. There cannot be anything less in the absolute in God. Otherwise, you make the creation more than God. That is called idol worship. You follow?
He's saying all the form is Maya.
All the form is Maya?
Mm-hmm.
Why? That is disappointment. Because you have been disappointed. You were in love with some girl and she kicked on your face. So now you say, oh, form is Maya.
Because only Brahman is real, he says.
Yeah, but the Brahman is Krishna. It's like this jackal. A jackal in the orchard. There are these grapes. So the jackal, he's trying to reach, he's jumping to get the grapes. But he cannot, he's too short. So then he says, oh, they're sour anyway. Sour grape philosophy. The grapes are there. You can go and taste them. But you must be qualified. If you want to understand spiritual form, you must become spiritual. You must lead spiritual life. You must practice. The first thing, you must accept a guru. You must follow the regulative principles. You cannot understand spiritual subject matter with material senses. You must purify your senses. That's what we're teaching here. Chant Hare Krishna. Take Krishna Prasadam. These are spiritual activities. And by performing these spiritual activities, your senses, they become purified and you understand everything. Yes?
Many questions.
Now I'm seeing you.
Prabhu, thank you for the class. How can we chant attentively in japa?
Yes, I was explaining in the beginning
Okay.
that why we're not attentive, because our senses are polluted. So even when we don't chant, we must again engage the senses. The eyes see the form of Krishna, the ears hear Krishna Katha, the nose smell flowers offered to Krishna, tongue only Krishna Prasadam, touching the beads, like that. The senses, they must be always engaged in Krishna consciousness. The mind also. Keep always. That's why we have all these different engagements. We're not exactly bored here in Krishna. So the senses are becoming purified, and then they don't disturb you. Why we're getting disturbed when we chant is because the senses are dragging. And that's why the mind is following the senses. You see?
Okay, thank you, Prabhu.
Luna is wondering on TikTok, are you also implicated, if she's also implicated, if we have been in an explicit relationship before finding Krishna to the same karma?
Don't worry. Krishna says, Am tvam sarva papebhyo moksha shami masucha. He is urging everyone, please, you surrender. Then I will take care of all the sinful reactions. And he says, masucha, don't worry. So Krishna is giving you assurance. Don't worry about this. Continue your Krishna consciousness. But practice properly.
People are wondering, how long did it take you to learn all this?
Not important. You learn it. Why are you looking at me? I'm a fool, number one. You learn it. Anyone can learn this. Read Prabhupada's books.
Now, Elson is the person who is saying that God is formless. He seems to have been defeated because he switched the topic. He's wondering, what do Hare Krishnas think about Lord Shiva? So I think it's relevant because it was in the shloka.
No, it's a shloka, yeah. We're discussing Lord Shiva.
Yes, I think it's relevant. Because
Yeah. Lord Shiva is called Mahadeva. Is the greatest demigod. So he is a Vaishnava. He is a devotee of Krishna. Vaishnavanam yata shambhu. Srimad Bhagavatam gives this verdict in the 12th canto. So he is a devotee. It is not that we simply worship Krishna and we neglect his devotees. We also worship his devotees. But we understand that Krishna is supreme and the devotees are his servants. That is the distinction.
I'm just wondering in this regard, because also in the shloka it says Shiva is the Lord of all living entities.
Yeah.
And also sometimes Shiva is also referred to as Bhagavan.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering, why is that? Because Bhagavan,
Very powerful living entity.
Mm-hmm.
You know these 64 qualities
Well, yeah,
of Krishna?
right.
So that's your answer. Lord Shiva has 80%, I think.
Something like that.
Something like that. Lord Brahma has 50%.
Mm-hmm.
Lord Shiva has 81%. Narayan is 93%.
Mm-hmm.
So Bhagavan, yeah, the devotee also is Bhagavan. All the opulences Krishna supplies to his devotee. But he is not Bhagavan Swayam. Krishna is Bhagavan Swayam. Srila Vyasadeva explains. He is the original. Swayam means original. Godhead.
Okay. Maybe last question, because we're already past time, but this person is asking, so do you believe in life after death?
And of course. You're dying every second because your body is changing from a child to a grown-up person to an old man. Where is your baby body? Dead. It is dead. Your baby body has died. It's no longer here. Are you still here? So life after death, even in this life you can see. Okay.
Okay. And so I just want to read this one from Gabriela. She wrote a nice comment.
Okay.
She said, you're not a fanatic or dogmatic Prabhu. You're among those preachers who are truly helping others to advance spiritually. Nowadays, so many devotees, preachers derogate from the teachings of Srimad Bhagavatam, saying foolish things such as, it is okay to have sex within marriage without wanting children if you are, 1, doing this not very often, 1 or 2 times per month, or 2, during the first years of your marriage, or 3, if you have only the first initiation, etc. Preachers do not realize that through this type of preaching, they are not helping others advance on their spiritual journey.
Yeah, they're misguiding them. You simply consider, if it's so nice, why only once a month? It's contradictory. He said it is very good, it is allowed, but only once a month. So if it's allowed, then you should have every day. Yes. They're looking for customers. These people are not interested in preaching. They are looking for customers. It's another thing. If someone cannot follow, we don't laugh. We try to encourage. It's not that. And also, it doesn't mean that he is now finished. That he had some fall down, that he cannot practice Krishna consciousness anymore. No. But we must know the standard. We must know the goal. If the goal is not ascertained properly, then we're misguided. We're going in a different direction. Instead of back home, back to Godhead, we go back home, back to doghead. Cats and dog society. Okay, thank you so much. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.